Hello, all. Welcome. We're back. We're having fun, and fun's relative, and kiss Nana, and do all those things that we do. Okay, so we're gonna work in InDesign today. Yeah, um, we've got like 3 weeks left, and we are officially done for Christmas. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so that's nutty. I know. Wow is right. I'm gonna miss all of you because I won't have you for next semester, and I won't have you for September next year. Oh my goodness! I'm gonna go through class withdrawal with you all because I won't have you till 2022. Oh my gosh! Right? And we'll all be grown up by then. So won't that be fun? So just to kind of call out, what do we got going on? Meaning me, not you. I'm the one that has to do growing up. So we've got this. Yeah, we've got next week. We've got this week, and we've got this week. Now, you'll notice on important dates that the 14th to 18th is your last week. What does that mean? This is your exam week. I would imagine that 90% of your classes will be wrapped up by the 11th. Okay. You may have communications, I believe, as an exam. I'm not sure. I no exam for communications. Oh, beautiful. Do you have any? Do you guys have any exams on the 14th to 18th? Or are you guys going to be? Yeah, I see Jess shaking her head. This is good. That's awesome. So this is it. You'll be done on the 11th, hopefully. Everything should be submitted by then, although you may have assignments running into this exam week, depending. I try to wrap everything up by the 11th. That gives me a week to mark everything because it's what it is. And then, yeah, you guys can enjoy your holidays. So hopefully by the 11th, the majority of your major projects and so on will be submitted by that day. Okay. Sound good? So we didn't have GDF class this week. We're working on form and function, as you all know. So keep working away. Watch the videos if you need it. We have, what do we have? Next week, GDF. I'm just going to switch gear because we didn't have it. Type class, yeah? Total review. You guys could probably do the type class right now, the quiz on type class, and you could pretty much ace it, I think. Okay. Not a problem. This is basically going to be a massive review for all of you. I may touch on things you might not have looked at or touched on in type class. It's possible. Because mine, again, is graph design fundamentals. So we look at everything on a fundamental basis. But I've got some fun PDFs and so on for you next week in type. You have a quiz. I'm going to also give you your last major project in GDF next week. Okay. So please be here on Tuesday. That will take us right to the end of the semester. And that's kind of a fun one. That's a cut and paste. If you love doing scrapbooking, you're going to love that one. Okay. Now, so that's it. That's going to be type class. Done. This week is going to be exam review week for graph design fundamentals. So you may want to show up for this. We'll go over everything. Maybe we'll do another imposition together to practice. Because yes, the last time I said would be the last imposition you had, I lied, in the words of Arnold. Yeah? Anybody? Commando? Oh my goodness, that's a throwback. Okay, so review, 30th to 4th for GDF, yes? Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll go here. Sorry, 7th, yeah. So review quiz, exam for GDF. Now the quiz or the exam will be everything related to all the quizzes. Yes? So all the quizzes you've ever had, golden. Okay? Now, it won't be all questions, right? So we've had what? Shoot. If you count them out, we've had like about 85 to 90 questions over the course of the semester. I'm not going to give you a quiz for the end. That's like 90 questions. That's not cool. What I do is I give you 50, I believe, maybe 60, and they nitpick questions. So no one has the exact same exam. Just it's kind of neat. And you're like, no, that's not cool. For whatever reason that may be. But at the end of the day, that's how that's going to look. Okay. So exam 7th through 11th for GDF. So please, I haven't decided yet. I might make the exam on our day. I know our midterm, I gave you a week, but I think I'll give you, no, I gave you a day, didn't I? So I might do the same. I'll probably for your exam, I'll give you the entire day on Tuesday to complete your exam. And then the other class will have Thursday to complete their exam. And they will be different as well. Okay, so they're not the same. Makes good sense because otherwise, you can imagine how it's kind of like Tuesday's class going, hey, yo, check out what we did for the exam. All right, I'm going to get started on it right now. So yeah, that's kind of the purpose behind that. Not that anyone would do that. Oh my goodness. Right. But you never know. It's all good. It's good to be, yeah. So that's GDF in a nutshell. Sound good? Yeah. Type class, exam review, exam, and we're finished. Yeah. So our last class together, I guess, will be the 4th, right? This will be our, so we have a postcard today. I'm switching gears now in CAB class. So we are officially in CAB class. Welcome, everyone. You are here. And this is where we're at. We're on the Friday the 20th. We're going to do a postcard together here. Yeah. Next week, you will get your last major project. Okay. I'll give that to you. Yeah. Well, you'll have it. I'll give it to you, of course, this week. You'll have it this week. And that will give you 1-2 weeks to complete the overall major project, which we actually will do it in class together to emulate exactly what I need from you. Yes. So just like we did with the skateboard logo, emulating your major project in Illustrator, we'll do the exact same thing with a rock and roll cover. I'll give it all the content to you. We'll place it. We'll set up our bleed, our guides, and everything will be there. So show up for that class, watch the video. You should all get perfect on that portion of the major project, which is just set up your file, just like we did for the Photoshop cover, right? Where we set up our, right? And same as InDesign or Illustrator, where we set up, although I did give you the template, right? For the Illustrator one. So that's good news. Okay. So if you have any questions about the Illustrator template, please let me know. I posted it in Discord. I think I emailed it as well to everyone, just making sure. I goofed. I'm sorry. Right. You could have used yours, I guess, but it wasn't quite as intuitive or as in depth or detailed because I wanted to create a template file with you. That's the reasoning behind it. If you're wondering why mine's a little different, the 3rd page really is the only thing I think that's really changed, and that has more detail to it. Okay, so have a look at that. If you're at all confused, please let me know. As mentioned, it is in Discord. Just check up on the tree there in the whatever you call it there, the chain. Yeah. And it is, yeah, as mentioned. Since I have you, I can show you. Oh, look at that. We're doing some fun stuff in there. Here we go. CAD class, right? And we talked a little bit about it here. Yes, and I'm all updated. Here we go. Just so I have you all, check it out. This is what we all have. Yes, and hopefully we've opened up our the file, the template file. You'll notice template is here, template details, version 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So our vector versions, okay? Now, you'll notice, even just in this little previewer, I want you to work with your layering and see if we can't get organized. Yes? So we're going to need to just select all of the copy and everything. So before we begin, and maybe you've already done this already, just do a Command A even, select all, and then you're going to grab the little dot and you're going to move the little dot right down here into template details. Be careful with this. If you accidentally move that dot down into template layer, and you make your PDF, it will not save any of the details. You'll notice in Illustrator all that when you make a template, there's a little checkbox that goes to print and it deactivates the print functionality. That is how you can actually create non-printing areas on a page. And if you double click on any layer and click off the print functionality, it just means when you make a PDF, it's going to disappear. It's going to disappear. It's not going to print. So I had a student reach out to me and say, Mitch, things are missing on my file. And the reason being is accidentally they grabbed that and moved it into the template layer. And that's non-printing. Yeah, makes sense? So just keep this as a base. I know, Jess, you asked, which is a great question. Do you need to use version 1, version 2, version 3? No. Yeah, if you want to change this up, it'd be great, though, to keep things within the area, right? Meaning, And not a, you know what, don't worry about it. As long as you have like things clearly identified and labeled well, that's all I'm asking from you. Okay.
Yeah, I was just looking at like maybe labeling one saying brainstorming and one saying whatever. I don't know what else.
Amazing. Yeah. Even,
Okay.
what we did there together, we broke one up and we did it as pages almost, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So like brainstorming thumbnail sketches,
Yeah.
brainstorming vector. Yeah. Amazing, Jess. That's awesome.
Yeah. Just it just helps me feel a little bit more organized, and then I can see like on the layers, like, yes, this is the one I want to be on.
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%. Beautiful. That's good. We're good. And then again, if you do want to try your hand at breaking the logos out into like, main page details, and then I don't know, you guys do what you wish. Just, yeah, as long as it's clear. The only thing I think I mentioned in Discord was please just don't, yeah, and you're going the opposite way. Amazing. Jess, but just to kind of confirm, as long as we didn't, I know you're already like, yeah, I got that. As long as we don't just leave things as layer, that's a no-no, and we will lose marks for that, right? Don't just create new layers and then just leave the name as layer 1, 2, 3 in any of our programs. We always, always, always put yes. Okay, cool. Another thing, maybe confusing, sorry, it has skate shop logo, blah, 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 blah. Get rid of all this stuff. Also, I call out, please fill in this information for your major project. Okay, this is great for you to go in and tell your story, as it were. Okay, so fill in your story about your gaming logo. Where did it come from? Who owns it? Why do they use a GA? Why did they use a little flower for their graphic? Yeah, let's talk about it, right? That'd be great. Give a little story behind it. Doesn't have to be large, but it's great that we tell our story. Yeah, that's awesome. Hopefully. Any questions on that overall? That should cover off um, our major project. Hopefully, we're busy working away. I've got quite a few questions about the skate logo. Just remember, you can use what's there. And I mentioned even Jess, great job here on the flip skate. Yeah, this is awesome. Twisted skate, name it whatever you want. If you don't like twisted or one of the words or names that I gave you, that's okay. Make up your own, right? Just because we brainstorm something doesn't mean that I'm gonna say that you're committed, right? You can have a different, you might go, oh, dude, I've changed my name. I don't like these. So I'm going to go with something a little different. That's okay. Right. I have no problem with that in this exercise. I really just want us to vet our ideas. That's the whole purpose of that brainstorming. Really get some thought put into it, because that's the best way to do it. I think we looked at mind mapping the other day, right? And graph design fundamentals with form function. How we just kind of like create a little tree, and that's awesome, right? That really just cultivates those thoughts and those ideas. So give that some, just like sketch out a new logo if you want. If you're like, dude, I don't like any of those, I'm not offended, maybe a little, that's okay, I don't care. So go and create your own, and if you want to call it, upside down skate. Oh my God, that was, yeah, I really just took the twisted and that was wrong. But you get the idea, right? And then make a logo for upside down skate. I don't know. Up city skate. No, that's wrong. Downside up skate. Oh, downside up skate. I kind of like that. That's got a nice flow to it. Okay. So, um, any questions so far? We're good. I think that covers off the instructions. It covers off our weekly and how they're going to look for the coming weeks. Yeah. We're going to do, as mentioned, a multi-page. I was gonna knock one of them out. I'm meaning I was gonna X-nay or not give you one of these, but you know what? I'm not going to do that. You guys, I want to give you everything I can give you. And so I want to do 3 exercises in InDesign. I mentioned the other class. I'll say it to you as well. This is more of a personal thing. I find, not personal, it's professional as well. I find that InDesign is the one that we all need the most work on. Not work on, I think just, I say every class, it's a matter of getting in the program and being in the program to really get it. Yeah. And I keep saying it and you guys are like, oh, Mitch, yeah, you say it every week. I'm just like, InDesign because it's a very specific program for a fairly specific thing. And some of us are like, yeah, dude, what is this? Like, what do we use InDesign for? InDesign all is used for large publication. It's used for poster design. It's used for web design. It's used for variable data printing. Have you ever heard of variable data printing? Which is like, you get, you get that postcard from Ford and it says, hello, Mitch Thompson. How are you doing today? And you're like, yeah, they know my name. Ford knows my name. How does Ford know my name? No, they don't know your name. You're on their email list, right? And so all they do is they take a list of your name, which you guys will be doing actually in the coming semester or maybe next year. You do it in graph design layout too, actually. I know because I taught it just last September. I had a lot of fun with it. But yeah, it takes like a listing and then it just pops in the name, right? Where the little, fill in little, you guys are doing website, right? The little, fill in area, right? And just name, and it just go, and it'll literally print out going to the printer. You send a PDF, literally, whatever Ford would have in their mail out. You can imagine, let's just say 200,000 mail out for Ford for that area. Send it to the printer. The printer will then get 100,000 PDF. They send it on press, individual. Oh my goodness, right? Actually, it's a single thing, and then the names get filled in along. We looked at pagination the other day. Remember that? And how it prints and that sort of thing. Now this would just be one card with a blank, and then it automatically fills in the blank as it prints. It's wild, really neat. Okay, so you would send that variable data to the printer, and they would be the ones to set it up to print properly. Does that make sense? Yeah. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. It's good. So variable data, that's your InDesign in general terms. Magazine layout, huge, right? I was doing the Adidas sales catalog. Ours would be a smaller section of the Adidas sales catalog. So if it was, say, 300 pages, the team section or division would be like, say, 30, right? So out of the 200, we'd have our own team section. They'd send me the entire InDesign file, and I'd have 1,000 pictures, fonts, oh my goodness. And I would just work with that file and get ours set up within the file, right? So we'd work together as a team, right? So that's always fun. Now, again, sorry, coming back to it, I find that InDesign isn't the one that most people will go, yay, InDesign, right? Layout, page layup, right? People maybe not, that's, what the deal is. Now, that being said, it's probably the reason I would say I need you guys to be in it more, because it's kind of the one that's fairly specific. Logos, you're going to go InDesign logos for stickers and t-shirts and that, cool. You can make your own Etsy store and do that. Amazing, right? Photoshop, we want to take a picture of Nana and move her face around. Oh my goodness, don't do that. But it's fun. Like, you're going to go, this is fun. Look, Nana, look what I did to your face. And Nana's like, oh, Mitch, that's not funny. And I'm going to go, yeah, it is. Because I'm sadistic like that. I don't know. I've got that sense of humor. I like to play around with Nana. But InDesign, are you going to do, a 7, or an 18-page magazine layout for fun? Probably not as, you know what I mean? It's one of those that is just not as utilized. And so we're going to give you, hopefully, some of you, depending on your mindset, are going to be like, oh, I love InDesign. I love the layout. Anyone who loves like interior design or page, like a wall, and loves to lay out walls, those people typically are the ones that gravitate towards the InDesign. It's exactly that. Text here, right? Paste ups, mock-ups, like set up a nice page beautifully, proximity, remember all that fun stuff. So that being said, please, if I can't stress it enough, it's an intense program too. Lots and lots and lots to it. Okay. I know you think Photoshop's intense. I think InDesign is probably way more technically advanced than the Photoshop side of things. Okay. There's a lot to it. I'm not trying to scare anyone. I want you to get in it and play in it and practice and have fun. But yeah, it's a doozer, right? There's a lot to do with text. You guys are in it, right? You love your text class. Yay, text. Yay, type. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to end that video. That was a good intro, I think, going over our weekly and lecture and InDesign, and we can get into it. Okay. So I'm just going to stop